Hi Red Sticks friends! We're putting together a video today so you have some ideas on what your little laxer can work on while we're on break. Haley's here working on her dominant hand. She prefers her left hand, so that's what she likes to start with. Casey is here throwing with her, but you don't need a family member who can play lacrosse. All you need is a softball glove or a baseball glove. And of course lacrosse balls. We're happy to lend some to you, so let me know if you need a couple and we can arrange a contact-less pickup. Alright, so after you get a little bit warmed up, we want to make sure that you're stepping as you throw, and we want that back elbow to be nice and high when she's throwing, just like a baseball player would do. And as she finishes, we want to follow through, pointing towards her target or even all the way across her body. Alright, so after you've done a good number, you feel good and warm, we're going to start by switching to our other hand. We want to follow the same technique. It's helpful to have some extra balls. Step, throw, follow through, watch the ball in, catch, step, throw. Again, not having another lacrosse player in your family might seem like a hindrance for you, but it's really very helpful to just throw with anybody. A baseball or a softball glove is fine. After you've done, we like to do 20 of each. Since we're only counting one person, make your little laxer do 20 before you switch. You can start with 10 if that seems too hard. Also, a game we like to play is if you drop a ball, so say you had 6 and then she's ready to catch number 7 and you drop it, instead of that being 7, you don't just get to stay at 6, but you have to drop all the way back to 5. So you get a little bit of a penalty for dropping one, but you don't have to start over at 0. So keep going. So she's at 5. And then the next one she catches, she gets to resume going up from 6. And that's just a little motivation to try to keep them going without having too big of a penalty for dropping one. So after you've done both hands, 10, 20, whatever you decide is a good number, next we like to switch in between each. So she catches one, and then after she catches it, she'll pull it across, switch hands, and then throw with that hand. Now keep your stick in that hand to catch, and then switch and throw back. So between every catch we want to see a switch. So the key here is when you're switching hands, you want to pull the stick across your body and then switch your new hand higher than your old hand. So make sure that that repositioning top hand comes higher up the stick than where the old hand was located. Alright, so after we've done catch with one, switch, now we're going to try one where we do, it's like a goofy pull across. So you can go back to your dominant hand and then pull across, and then we throw the open stick to your target. So again, catching, we can pull across and throw. So another technique detail to work on here is you want that top hand when it switches over to reposition so that it's still an open hand ready to follow through at the target. You might be tempted to be like a closed grip like this, but you want to, as you pull it across, you want to make sure you've repositioned that hand so that it can still flick away from you. Haley, do you hear that? Pull your grip across and then make sure you have the behind, your grip is behind so you can still flick it nicely. There you go. Alright, so here's one more advanced move to try when you're doing this. Instead of pulling it across your face to do the switch, do a cradle out and a cradle in to the opposite ear. Cradle out, nope, do it slowly. Cradle out and cradle in, there you go, perfect. So this is still the goofy throw, but we're adding in a cradle complication. And we want to try to get so we get comfortable doing that and can even do it a little bit more quickly. So while your cradle is out in front of your face, pull it straight back to the new side. There you go. All right, so when your cradle is out front, cradle directly back to the new ear.
Hey, how are you?
Good. All right, so now let's switch hands and do the other hand. All right, so the key for this is when you pull across, pause, pause, pause. We want to have the bottom hand nice and high at your target, and the top hand is not high at all. So you do not want to be way choked up the stick. And the key here is to do a good pull down with the bottom hand as you push the top hand flick. There you go. Very nice. So pull across and a good top hand wrist snap. Whoops. All right, now one of our next complications that we like to add is where she would be, so let's go back to your strong hand, and she's gonna ask for it with her strong hand, just stay forward, but we're pretending like her passer is really not very good at his job, and he throws to the other side of her. So she ends up having to switch her hands across her body quickly to catch the bad throw. All right, go ahead. So she's asked for it here, but he throws it on the other hand, and she pulls it back to throw. Still maintaining a good athletic position. Knees bent. Good, good. All right, so she's asking for it here, but he's bad at his job. He throws it over there. She has to react to that. Because let's be honest, our girls miss all the time, so it's helpful to be able to catch wherever it is the ball's thrown. So don't ask for it there. If you put your stick there early, then that's what you're asking for. We want you to have to react to it. All right, so depending on how strong your kid is at catching, you may want to spend more time just throwing the ball directly to her, or you may be ready to add complication by throwing it around her. It kind of depends on where she is and what her growth looks like, what she's ready to do. So all of her throws, though, we want to make sure are still with a good athletic throw. We want her to be facing sideways when she winds up to throw. She needs to bend her knees, get her back elbow up, and follow through at her target. So if you're watching Haley, she's getting a little lazy with that back elbow and she's dropping it. So I'm always in her ear to remember to do that. And then her follow through. Do you see how she's stopping short? She's just kind of pushing it. She needs to snap all the way through. Good. That's much better. So even though Coach Jenny and Coach Casey aren't there to give you corrections, it's helpful if you can be there looking for some of these things that she might do wrong. All right, so here's the last thing that I love to have them do. I like to do a scenario where we act like we're running down the field with a friend. So like this scenario would be that Haley and Casey are both running where Haley is facing. So they're both facing the same direction, right? But instead of actually running, they're just going to put the stick in the outside of their bodies to begin this drill. So this is imagining like we're running down the field, but since we're not gonna make you do that, you can just do it standing still. But we make your lacrosse player stand so that both of their feet are faced the way they're supposed to be running. And so they're throwing with their outside hand here, catch and throw, just the normal way. This would be good technique running down the field using your outside hand away from the defender. And you can move your feet. Your feet are not stuck, but I do want your feet to remain facing forward. This is also a good drill to help you work on kind of disconnecting your arms and your torso from your lower body. Because while you're running, you don't always get to face exactly the way you want to throw. So it's good to be able to adjust like this. Now Haley needs to still follow through at her target. Good, much better throw. All right, so now after we've done that outside hand, now we switch the other way. So now we pretend we're running up the field the other direction. And the stick, as you can see, has switched to her other outside hand. So now she's playing with her right hand, which is her new outside hand when she faces up the field the other direction. So after we've done this for a while, again, I would say 10 each way. Then it's a good idea to switch. Now switch back to the main direction again.
Morgan, can you help get that ball?
Haley, Casey, can you switch? All right, so now let's go to our inside hand. No, so, yep, there you go. Top hand, inside hand. So now this isn't great technique, but it's like she's running down the field asking for the ball to be thrown behind her. So now it's a little bit harder for her hips and her shoulders to throw because she's asking for the ball behind herself, and then she's got to twist excessively far to throw the ball back. But again, it's good to practice so that you're able to run in a game and do all these sort of crooked moves. So now this is inside hand facing this direction. And then let's go the other way. So we switch, and now we go inside hand facing the other direction. And again, this is all just trying to increase our hand-eye coordination and our ability to catch and throw on the move when things aren't necessarily thrown in a very perfect location. All right, so now that's inside hand. So now let's face back uphill again, and we're gonna ask for it with our outside hand there, but our partner fails at his job and he actually throws it behind her. So again, she's got it in her outside hand, which here is her left, and asking for it there. Nope, ask for it in front of you, Hale. So it needs to be like a surprise move that they have to adjust to quickly. So she wants it here in front of her, but he's kind of terrible at his job and he throws it behind her. So as Haley catches this, she needs to be sure that she doesn't cradle the ball out of her stick. She needs to just, okay, Hale, cradle the other way. You're cradling it away. There you go. So as she catches this, she pulls it back across her instead of batting at it away. Teenage boys. Brilliant. Haley, please cradle this way. You're gonna slap the ball right out. So can you see the difference? So there's two ways that she can twist her stick when she catches it. So go slowly and do it the right way, please. So she catches it here, and then she pulls it in a way that has the ball facing her head. And then the opposite is what she's gonna do now, where she cradles it. Well, that's why I don't like her doing it that way, because it throws the ball out.
She'll be a pro by the end of this.
There. So do you see how that time she twisted it in a way that kind of faces the ball at the ground? That's not as safe. So we like to pull it back facing our head. But the reality is I actually like her to do both ways so that she practices all of them. All right, so now let's switch and go the other way. So now we're asking for it with our lead hand there, but it's thrown behind us. And again, cradle first the right way, where she pulls it across where the ball faces her the whole way, there and back. Can you just play normal? Oh. No, just face straight. I was hoping that would make his throws be perfection.
Harder.
Well, don't do that. This is also her weaker hand, so she's not as good at catching this way. This is hard. And this is why we're working on it, because it is hard and we want to get better. And just in case your kid is feeling sad that she's dropping all these balls, you can encourage her that our high school varsity is asked to do this regularly. This is a high school drill that we do with our entire varsity our entire Macintosh program, and many of them can't even do this very well. So if we can get so that our little red sticksters can do this stuff well, we'll be in great shape by the time they get to high school. All right, so now that's the pull across. Let's go back up front again. Now let's ask for it with the outside hand, catch it with the outside hand, and then pull across to do the goofy throwback. So we catch it in front of ourselves, pull across behind. No, wait, don't switch hands, just do the goofy throw. So she's in her outside hand, pulls across, there we go, and throws it goofy. I need a better name for that. Pull across. It's like a weak side throw.
Strong hand, weak side.
Strong hand, weak side. So catch there, pull back. So the details of which way you do every one of these moves, it doesn't matter what your order is. We just basically want your kid to get comfortable catching and throwing with both hands in front, behind, inside, outside, catching, inside, outside, front and behind, throwing, any combination. And also with them knowing where it's going and being surprised with where it's going. So again, it's ideal if they can throw exactly where each other is asking for the ball, but knowing that they don't all do that perfectly, it's great if they can catch no matter where the ball is thrown. All right, now let's switch and do the other way. So now we switch to our outside hand there, where we catch the ball cleanly, pull across, and throw back. Pull across and throw back. All right, and now let's get a couple more of these. Just a couple more. This is the weak hand. We want to make sure we get some of them. Here.
Morgan, will you please?
We have a ball dispenser over here, but she's boycotting her job.
Yeah, I know. More, I know. We get it. It's gonna go down the drain. We gotta stop.
What is?
It's gonna round the corner and go down the drain.
All right, we're about to lose a ball down the drain. Our ball retriever is on the move. All right, anyhow, so now once we've done all of these for a good long while, let's go back to our favorite hand and do the easy stuff. Just facing forward. Face forward, Hale, towards your thrower. All right, let's go. Bend our knees, get our elbow up, follow through, face sideways. Do all the things well so that we throw like a good athlete. There we go. Nice throw. Good. All right. So thank you for watching our video. I hope that this has been useful and helpful. And please let us know if you have any questions. Also, as you can see, we're nowhere near 6 feet or closer. We are keeping a nice distance from each other. So I have to say, if you're interested in throwing with a friend, this is a pretty safe thing to do. My only suggestion would be don't pick the ball up with your hand. Just use your stick, pick the ball up with the stick, and don't ever touch it with your hand. And that's one good way to assure that you're not transmitting anything to each other. All right, so thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any questions. Hope to see you soon. Say bye.